JDL USA presents Rabbi Nachum Shifren, Torah scholar, author, public speaker, and good friend of the late Rabbi Meir Kahana.
Well, here we are again. It's the day before the holiest day of the year on the Jewish calendar, as you probably know, many of you know. And each one of us, what can I say? I talked to a friend the other day and I said, let me ask you a question. Very successful guy. He's an athlete. He's an author. He's always in great shape, etc. And I said, what would be your feelings on the very, very last moment of your breath on this world? What would you be thinking about? And he told me something that I'll never forget. He said, you know what? I won't be thinking about anything about what I did with my life, how I made other people's lives better, And I think about that, and that's exactly where we're at today. This week's Parsha is very, very, how shall I say, haunting. Can I use the word haunting about a Parsha in the Torah? HaZeh means listen, and the people that that Moses is talking to he's not talking to the Jewish people. He's talking to heaven and earth, and he's saying that you will be around forever, and therefore I'm going to give you my last words before Moses passes away. He says to heaven and earth, you're going to be my witnesses for what's going to happen on the day that when I die, and it's not going to be in Joshua's time, but at subsequent times it will happen, that when I die, the Jewish people will go against you, against the Torah. They'll go against the mandates that Hashem gave us. And on that day, you'll sing this song, kind of like, in a weird way. It's kind of like the hit parade from the 60s, remember that? The oldies, and Shem is going to play this song to the Jewish people, and it's going to be like this. You remember how I was for you in the desert? I gave you everything. I freed you from slavery. I promised you a land of milk and honey. There's nothing that I didn't give you. Did we deserve it? No. But because we were Jews, we were the only reason that the world was created was so that we would accommodate the Creator that created us, essentially. And if not for that, the world would go into tohu vavohu, which is basically chaos, the oblivion of nothingness, a void, a vacuum. So this song is a haunting song. I hope everybody will get a chance to look at part of it. Yes, so we have to, it's interesting that, just if I could just deviate for a second from the Parsha, we're at the nexus of a quote-unquote peace agreement. Now, how many times have we heard peace agreement? See, there was the, what plan was it? Not the Marshall Plan, the Secretary of State under Johnson. Anyway, each regime has their own peace plan for the Middle East. Notice that nothing ever works. Why? It's good that we have a good army, but I will tell you that as somebody that's an insider here, not on the army so much, but the situation in Israel, very few people look at it objectively. How can you do that? Because we don't know. But being there on the inside, I see that if it wasn't for the Arabs, we'd be fighting amongst ourselves. Okay, if you don't know that, write it down, make a note to yourself, and then you can go do your own research. It isn't the Arabs that are our enemy, although they're vicious, murderous, individuals that would love nothing other than to take over the land of Israel. But we are our own enemies ourselves. And this is a very short Dvar Torah because everybody's busy. We're getting ready for the holiest night of the year. We're buying things, doing things. But I will tell you, if you keep in mind that, you can't have an Israeli army, unless there's a foundation of a spirit of something that goes beyond just the temporal. You know that? I think everybody pretty much understands that. And as good as the soldiers are, if you look at the history of the Jewish people, in the Parsha itself, in Ta'azinu, it says, remember, go back and look at days previously, what happened with the generation of the flood, the generation of the those people that were rebelling against God, Pharaoh, Og, all these other enemies of the Jewish people. They were, not one Jew lost their life fighting these people, not once, because the premise was that we would be faithful to God and He would take care of our enemies. True, there were soldiers that had to smite a lot of people, but we never hear about anything about Jewish casualties. The only casualties we first heard of were those 4/5 of the Jewish people that refused to leave Egypt. Why? I guess it was the flesh pots of cucumbers and salted fish, as it were, right? So who knows? Who knows about that? But what I'm trying to say is that without a foundation of our faith, of our heritage, and clinging to it, all the soldiers in the world aren't going to do anything. Notice that it's been 2 years, over 2 years, thousands of Israeli soldiers have perished. And these guys are like cockroaches. They can be snuffed out in 1 minute, but we can't do it. Why have we not been able to do it? Why? We defeated 5 armies in the Yom Kippur War. In the 6-Day War, the same thing. What about this? This is more of a psychological and a spiritual battle. And we're paying the price for it. I can tell you that those people that were held hostage, many of them from that kibbutz Be'eri, it was like a Woodstock festival down there. And I'm not saying anything other than how many soldiers died so that those guys could be freed. It's the whole thing. When you think about it, it's a nightmare. It doesn't make sense. So on this Yom Kippur, I would like to ask God for forgiveness for us being led astray from His goodness, from His grace, from His power, from His divine providence. And I hope that we all will take note of things that we need to do in our own lives to get back to that amazing, amazing situation when, as in the words of King Solomon, a man will sit under his fig tree, and there'll be peace throughout the land, and there'll be plenty, and not one person will be disadvantaged or threatened. And no army came in. No armies would come in during the temple period when Solomon was there. So with that having been said, I wish everybody a Chag Sameach, Yom Kippur, Tov, Gmar Chatma Tova to everybody. And I hope that this will be the year that we really reflect on who we are, what we are, and what are we doing? What's our purpose? God bless you all. And please, please do support the JDL, the word of Rabbi Meir Kahana. And remember the bumper sticker that's come out as of late in Israel. Kahana Tzadak. Kana was right. Thousands and thousands of people put that bumper sticker on. So anyway, Gmar Chatima Tova, Shana Tova. We should only have goodness and good news for everybody, health, parnasah, and shalom. All the best. God bless you all.